So I recently done a 12-hour stream, if you didn't know, on twitch.tv/Daxellz, and in that 12-hour stream, we reacted to a couple of videos. Just a heads up, it was a 12-hour stream, like I said, so I might be a bit tired, confused, and not understanding what's going on, but nonetheless, we reacted to some videos. I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you in the next video.
Every FPS game has those superstars who just love to dunk on people. Whether it's in Counter-Strike, Apex Legends, Overwatch, or Valorant.
I'm definitely not one of them people.
These players will do whatever it takes to add you to their highlight reel.
He's a sick player. Wait, what's his name again? Wait. I forgot this guy's name, but he's proper good at Valorant.
Their jaw-dropping, mind-blowing plays take subreddits by storm, turning even the biggest backseat Kenny S's into love-struck groupies.
Wow, oh, well,
and
tens,
that's
that's
because
it.
of their raw aim or their massive brain, these are the gamers who everyone looks up to. Rock stars who thousands of fans flock to when they go live every day.
I'm trying to come out.
Damn.
I mean, is this guy signed or what?
But what if I told you that one of Twitch's most worshipped head poppers wasn't a pro player dumpstering scrubs in his spare time? That instead of chasing world championships, Brandon Aceu Win has dedicated his life to building an empire out of stylish humiliations.
Kind of my end goal right now is like I want to design my own brand. And eventually have my own boutique, my own store, and end up being some old 80-year-old Asian guy selling clothes or something. Like it'd be a dream come true if I get all that done.
Aceu is NRG's certifiably cracked frag lord, who after years of pursuing a competitive career has opted to cement himself as one of the most exciting streamers on the planet. One who, if given the chance, will happily make an absolute fool out of you.
Oh, hell no. Wait, what's his name? Aceu. I've been saying it wrong all this time. Damn. How does he play those games? The shields on that game is nuts.
So why did someone with such insane aim and talent lose interest in being a pro player? And how has Aceu used his style of play to become one of Twitch's most beloved FPS streamers?
What's good, y'all? Good morning, y'all.
There's probably more money in it, like more money in entertainment than there is in pro tournaments right now. Jesus. Do I have Netflix? Yeah, I have Netflix.
Okay, so in addition to being one of the nuttiest Apex Legends players ever to touch the game, who is Aceu? Well, before he began clapping kids in various games online, Aceu lived a pretty quiet life. He grew up in the small agricultural town of Terre Haute, where there wasn't a whole lot to do. To kill time, Aceu played baseball in school and absolutely despised it. But it was when his
I've always wanted to play baseball.
Quake that his competitive spark was truly ignited.
So I played Quake against him and his friend, and obviously I was probably like 7 or 8 or something at the time, and they're just like destroying me, and I can't kill them at all. I'm just getting absolutely trashed, and so like I feel like that kind of started like my kind of like competitiveness, because like I always wanted to like hang with them and like not be completely useless. I think that's like the first real memory I had of like playing games.
Now, while Aceu enjoyed playing PC games like Quake with his stepdad and friends, at the time, he didn't actually own his own computer. So instead, he opted to play games like Call of Duty and Halo on console, initially drawing inspiration from a Halo YouTuber named Saleya. Now, Saleya was known for styling on his opponents with unorthodox plays, and it was that highlight-driven approach that inspired Aceu's content creation philosophy.
Get shit on there, buddy.
Ever since then, I tried to like be like a lot more flashy and creative with the stuff that I was going for, and so whenever I'm going for clips, I just try to make something fresh, you know, and something unique. I feel like anybody can like go and like one-tap somebody, but I don't know, it takes a little bit of flair to like get those like crazy plays, you know?
Yeah, he's not wrong. One thing to kill someone, but to completely humiliate him is just like, yeah. Damn. Damn. Oh my god.
Eventually, an esports center called eBash opened up in Terre Haute, where players could go to play with or against each other in various local events. And that's where Aceu began spending his weekends stomping kids.
So I pretty much would just be there all the time, just like grinding games, because I didn't really have internet at my house on like my Xbox or anything. So pretty much just started really young playing Gears, Halo, and COD. I played in a few tourneys. I did okay, but it wasn't anything crazy. I wasn't going to like any MLG events or anything. Eventually, I feel like I kind of hit a barrier with all the console games. And so that's when I started really getting into PC gaming.
But when Aceu finally got his first computer in 2013, he fell into the same trap that many unfortunate souls have succumbed to. He became a filthy league scrub.
Oh. Oh no.
Initially, after hitting Diamond in Season 3, Aceu was hopeful that he might be able to make a name for himself as a competitor. But after losing nearly every game in his quest to hit Challenger the following season, he decided that Riot's MOBA just wasn't for him. And it was around that time that Aceu discovered the FPS that would kickstart his gaming career. The GOAT that is CSGO. Aceu, Ace, as he was
he's a
known back
lefty.
then, was immediately hooked on CSGO because of its precise gunplay. And so he poured hours upon hours into it with the hope of eventually going pro. He even
We've
found
seen
a
the gun
team
on the
to
left-hand
compete
side.
with at an ESCA Open qualifier.
That's kind of where everything started for me, because we played the ESA Open one season, then we went to the second season. It was just IM, but we ended up winning intermediate, which put us straight into Premier League. That's kind of where I started getting my footing really, and like I started getting my name out there a lot.
And it was Rise Nation's performance in ESCA's Premier Division that caught the attention of eUnited, who quickly signed the exciting Fragger to a pro contract. After grinding for years to make a name for himself, this was finally the big break that Ace had been looking for. Or so he thought.
Oh
After
no, it always goes
narrowly
like
missing
this.
out on a qualification for the 2018 Face It London Major, followed by a string of inconsistent results, Ace found himself sitting on the bench.
Because whenever I got benched from CS, it's kind of like a wake-up call, because like I spent all this time grinding, and I finally made it, and I thought like, oh, this is like where everything's gonna start. And then I got benched, and I had nothing to fall back to. So I was like, it really just woke me up and opened my eyes to how quickly things can just, be pulled from under your feet.
Now, without a job, Aceu had a difficult decision to make.
Full
He received
360.
offers from other teams, but he didn't want to settle for anything less than Pro League. So, like the countless pro gamers before him, Ace decided to start streaming more.
Let's
But first,
go.
he wanted to change his in-game name.
I found out that like Ace is probably the worst name I could have ever picked getting into like the FPS genre, because you kill a whole team, it's an ace. It's pretty hard to find your name like the algorithm when all these clips about people acing are there, right? So I kind of ditched Ace and I started going with Aceu. It's just a lot easier to find.
And his
Aceu,
decision
okay.
to go all in on streaming and the rebrand that came with it would change his life forever. In the first few months, Aceu set a goal of hitting 400 subs, which his talent and personality allowed him to do pretty easily. But it didn't hurt when Twitch's latest craze hit in February of 2019.
Apex. Was it that big? Was
Apex
Apex that big?
Legends was the perfect game for Aceu because it rewarded players for their raw aim. Its frenetic pace was similar to the arena multiplayer games he played when he was younger, and so he used that to his advantage, riding the game's wave of popularity into the streaming
Yo, he
zeitgeist.
360 and Jesus. Out of nowhere. Oh my god. I hate how much bullets they can sponge. It's disgusting. Still pretty big. Is it? Oh my god, how many bullets does it take to kill someone? That would
It wasn't
anger
long
me.
before Aceu's insane highlights were turning up in everyone's Twitter feeds.
He is
which
nuts, not gonna
eventually
lie.
prompted NRG Esports to sign him to their Apex roster.
Damn.
He and his teammates, Dizzy and more, quickly became fan favorites by winning multiple TwitchCon qualifiers before winning the finals at TwitchCon San Diego, where
Let's go.
Aceu was named the event's MVP. But fans weren't just marveling at his incredible aim. They became obsessed with his movement, to the point where everyone wanted to replicate it. And so Aceu's YouTube channel became a place where players could go, not just to watch his crispy one-taps
But to
and
mimic him.
humiliating outplays,
Damn.
but also to learn from the master himself.
So
Damn.
my job here is I'm going to show you how to use the mechanics of movement, and at the beginning I'm going to show the basic inputs and how to do it, but later in the video I'm going to show actual examples, and I'm going to try and walk you guys through what's going through my mind.
And it was the relationship between
Yeah.
Aceu and his viewers that really catapulted him to the top of Twitch. It also helped him realize that he enjoyed streaming Apex Legends more than playing it professionally, which
Yeah.
led to him walking away from his competitive career in January of 2020. But despite the fact that he loved creating content and interacting with his audience, the RNG factor of Battle Royales began tiring him out, and losing games due to factors beyond his control took a toll on his motivation. Now, Aceu's viewership had always been on the rise, but in April of 2020, it was taken to the next level by, you guessed it, Valorant. The closed beta launch of Riot's long-awaited shooter, coupled with a Twitch Rivals event, catapulted Aceu's channel and allowed him to become one of the faces of the game from day one. And the creative agent abilities Valorant offered
Get the
players
codes.
allowed Aceu to take his humiliation-based playstyle to a whole new level.
One enemy remaining.
Damn.
I'm down over here.
I'm down. Watch your sewer, Ace.
Need help.
A lot of CSGO pros go to Valorant, don't they?
One enemy remaining.
Damn. Disgusting.
Ready. Nailed them.
Makes you want to play Valorant, but I'm not good at it. You're revived.
One enemy remaining.
In the
Okay,
span of
nice.
just 1 week, Aceu transformed himself into one of Twitch's biggest streamers, hitting his peak numbers for both subscribers and viewers. Now, with the
Damn.
sudden hype of Valorant, many people, ourselves including, were hoping that Aceu would go pro in this fresh, brand new game. But as it turns out, he just didn't want to distance himself from the cushy lifestyle of streaming. And
That's fair.
honestly, how can you blame him?
Exactly.
The life of an esports pro is stressful, demanding, and has a limited shelf life. So for Aceu, choosing to switch to streaming was the best move he ever made.
So honestly, I think if any player has the chance to do it, either like me or Shroud or Tins have done, I think they should definitely do it. Because unless you have that competitive drive to be number one and just destroy all the competition and take it that route, streaming is a lot more relaxed. You can do what you want on your own schedule and play what you want, and a lot less pressure. And I don't know, it's just really nice compared to playing competitive.
But no matter how big his streamer numbers get, Aceu
Okay.
remembers that his empire was built on the bond that he forged between him and his audience. And that's something he keeps in mind every time he goes live.
It's definitely a lot harder because like a lot more comments coming in, and like Twitch chat just like going faster and faster. It's kind of hard to read everything, but I try my hardest to still try and connect with everybody. I can't talk to everybody, but I can at least try, you know? I hate watching a stream where like the person just completely like dialed into the game like for the whole time and don't interact with chat. So I try to talk to everybody as much as I can.
Regardless of whether he's playing professionally or just entertaining people on stream, Aceu still has that hunger to clown on anyone unfortunate enough to line up with his crosshair.
Was great to give me
Because
back
no
here.
matter what game he chooses to play, he will always be looking to create his next mind-blowing highlight.
I take life day by
Damn
day,
straight.
and I don't really plan too much out. So the fact that I made it here, I just kind of take it as everything like worked out as it should, and I'm kind of blessed to be what I'm doing right now.
Fair play, fair play. He
I'm kidding. I'm here to help you.
He sounds like a dope guy.
One enemy remaining.
I'm going ignorant.
I hope I never play him at any game. That's disgusting. That is disgusting.
Oh my god, I'm nuts. Start streaming more. I actually love that line. That's a really good line. I wish I had if you go on Twitter and you go to every single fucking pro gamer in the history of esports who, like, when they get banned, right, or that, you know, like, well, first thing is I'm gonna, and they use that exact turn of phrase, I'm gonna start streaming more. That's like, well, you'll definitely see me streaming more.
With streaming though, people think they focus on the game rather than the person. I think they should focus on themselves more than the game, because the more you focus yourself as a character or a person, the more people can follow you to different things rather than you just die, you know.